John Tortorella was fired by the Philadelphia Flyers because of an on-ice record and because he kinda asked to be fired. When a coach like him becomes available, of course the rumors will start to swirl that he should be the Bruins' next head coach. And the NHL insiders seem to agree. I will discuss this and a little bit more in today's video. So buckle up, Bruins fans. I'm here to give you the latest info on your beloved Boston Bruins. If you've been liking my Bruins content, please leave me a like and subscribe. If you've already done so, thank you, and let's get into it. A couple days ago, John Tortorella decided to say this.
This is a learning experience.
I'm not going to discuss that with you.
Do you think this is a game, John, where the team just needs to maybe simplify things against a team like the Leafs, get pucks to the net, bodies to the net to try to score?
It's my job to prepare this team in this type of situation. Haven't done a good enough job past couple of games.
These last two games, are you sensing frustration setting in? Maybe it's a cumulative effect from last week playing well and not getting results?
Well, when you're in this type of situation and you're losing all the time and there's nothing at the end of the tunnel for you, there's certainly going to be some frustration. But this falls on me. I'm not really interested in learning how to coach this type of season where we're at right now. But I have to do a better job. So this falls on me, getting the team prepared to play the proper way until we get to the end.
Now, I don't think this is what was the reason he was fired right away. I just think this is what put it over the edge for the Flyers. Tortorella has never been shy to speak his mind to the media and to the front office, and he takes full accountability for his actions all the time. The Flyers were a young team, and Tortorella was never shy to make examples of its young players, including one of the top rookies in the league, Matvei Michkov. Michkov, by the way, since Tortorella has left, has been on a tear and has looked pretty amazing with the leashes taken off. Pierre LeBrun said the firing of Tortorella was a shock around the league, but there was rumblings the Flyers could look at a coaching position change in the offseason. Tortorella was hired by the Flyers ahead of the 22-23 season. The team was coming off an 8th place finish in the Metropolitan Division. The Flyers shown slight improvement in Tortorella's first year, improving to 31 wins. Things looked more promising in his second season as the team turned it around to a 38-33-11 record. Despite finishing the year over 500, the Flyers failed to make the postseason. They came pretty close though. The team failed to capitalize on the improvement this year and sat at 500 at the trade deadline. Also this year, Tortorella kind of went at the players a little bit more than he had in the previous season, and all we heard all season was guys are getting benched or this guy's not doing this. It was a lot of drama in Philadelphia this year. Not as much as Boston though. Like, who are we kidding? Instead of making additions, the Flyers ship out 3 players. The team went into a tailspin after the deadline, going just 1-10 in the next 11 games. Flyers at the time had a worse record than the Boston Bruins, and based on what Tortorella said, it's obvious to me that he shouldn't be coaching a team in a rebuild. Tortorella is an old school, no-nonsense coach and is a good coach, but I think he needs to be with the right group. Joe Sacco is still the interim head coach of the Boston Bruins, but Cam Neely recently sat down with the Boston Globe to say that it isn't his job just yet. The team has struggled this season, which is painfully obvious to anybody and the fan base. Despite the struggles, the efforts of Sacco and the rest of the staff have put, it hasn't gone unnoticed. Neely said to the Globe, "I mentioned to the whole coaching staff that recently Don and I certainly appreciate the job they're doing. It hasn't been easy for them. We had a pretty good record, and then we just stopped playing the way we should play for a stretch, and there, it just really hurt us. But it's not the easiest situation for Joe to come in, but he's handled it very well." I guess he's handled it very well, but he's kind of trying to fix the situation that Neely and Don Sweeney kind of created. But hey, who am I to judge? Neely added that coach changes is not something the Bruins are used to. Montgomery was hired in 2023 after Bruce Cassidy was fired. Then Sacco was named in the interim. I don't know why he says it's not something they're used to. It's kind of been the pattern for Don Sweeney and Cam Neely. Instead of preparing for the playoffs, the Bruins have a laundry list of questions to answer before the 2025-26 season begins. And Neely, he plans to explore all options to improve the team. Neely said, "I think everything is on the table as far as trying to improve the club. Obviously, some picks are years away from getting into the lineup, so you've got to evaluate that and evaluate where you will be with your team. But everything's going to be on the table." To me, that says the Bruins aren't making any coaching decisions until the offseason, but that hasn't stopped the NHL insiders from saying the Bruins are interested in John Tortorella. Frank Saravelli and Elliot Friedman both said the Bruins could be in on John Tortorella, and he would be a good fit. I get their perspective, and it's easy to say the Bruins would be in on Tort. Don Sweeney wouldn't be doing his job if they weren't. Saravelli also reported that Tortorella was upset at the direction the Flyers took at the trade deadline, and that he didn't want to be a part of a rebuilding team. Why would Tortorella even want to be a part of the Boston Bruins then? I think Torts is a good coach, but I don't think he's the right person for the job in Boston. He would be highly entertaining, though. Honestly, when he talks to the media, it's some of the best quotes that you'll get in all of hockey. Torts also likes to have a bit more control than most coaches and likes to be a part of the personnel decisions, and I don't see how that would even work in Boston with Sweeney and Cam. He doesn't have the best track record with young teams anymore, and I think Torts is the perfect coach you bring in to put you over the edge, but not during a rebuild or a retool. Honestly, the Rangers make way more sense to hire him once again than Boston does. I don't know who the Bruins coach will be next year, and we don't really know the candidates yet either. I do think it won't be Sacco, though. Nothing I've seen from him behind the bench has made me think he's earned the job. I personally don't think it will or should be Torts, and that's all. I want to hear from you, though. What are your thoughts on who the Boston Bruins' possible head coach could be? That's a wrap on today's video. To stay up to date on all the news surrounding the Boston Bruins, please subscribe and drop me a like. If news breaks surrounding the Boston Bruins, be sure to check out the channel. If you've already subscribed to the channel, thank you, and I'll see you next time.